Do you ever find that you're trying to avoid anger altogether? You might have something that's called masked anger. What is it and how do you work through it? Well, stick with me for about the next 5 minutes and I'm going to walk you through the signs and symptoms of masked anger and help you learn some ways to get it out of your life so it stops messing things up and doesn't get in the way of your relationships. So, first of all, what is masked anger? All of us experience anger, but for those of us that have masked anger, we feel really uncomfortable with the emotion altogether. So we find ways to dismiss it, push it aside, pretend like it doesn't exist, or we might actually not even be aware that it's there. So, this is what I mean when I say masked anger. It's anger that exists, but it's hidden, sometimes even hidden from ourselves. So, how do you know if you have masked anger? Well, there are three really specific symptoms that we're going to talk about today that will help you know if this is something that's going on for you. So, first of all, people pleasing is a sign of masked anger. When we people please, we're worried about feeling emotions ourselves because we don't want to upset other people. So, when we feel angry, we hide it from others and we really don't want others to feel angry either. So we do everything that we can to prevent other people from feeling angry. If you are a people pleaser, you probably have some masked anger. The second symptom of masked anger are sneaky behaviors. So, this might mean that you find that sometimes there are times you're just passive aggressive. Maybe you do some things that you don't really mean to, or you find yourself snapping at people for no good reason. This is a sign of some of that sneaky anger. It's existing under the surface, but we're not acknowledging it, so it ends up coming out at other places in our lives. Sneaky behaviors like passive aggressiveness, that's masked anger. Finally, the third symptom of masked anger is self blame. This is when we take our anger and instead of directing it outward, we direct it inward. Anything that goes wrong, we tend to blame ourselves. And any anger that we feel goes inside of us instead of anywhere else. This kind of anger often makes us feel really depressed or anxious. It's hard to feel good about yourself when you blame yourself for every single thing that goes wrong. So, if you find yourself struggling with a lot of self blame, you probably have masked anger. So, if you have these symptoms, then what are you supposed to do? The first thing that I always tell my therapy clients is that they first have to acknowledge the emotion that's there. This might sound so simple. So, a lot of people end up skipping this step, but really, it's the most important step. The next time that you start to feel angry, acknowledge that that's what you're feeling. Actually, say to yourself, this is me. I'm feeling angry. That's what this emotion is. It's anger and it's normal. Everybody has it. Just labeling it like that helps your brain to make sense of what's going on and stop some of those sneaky passive aggressive behaviors from occurring. Secondly, after you've acknowledged the emotion, you need to express it. There are lots of different ways of expressing emotions, and I'm not suggesting that you should punch anybody. Instead, I'm saying that you should find a way to directly express what it is that you're feeling. Maybe you just need to tell the other person that you're feeling angry and that you need a break. But whatever you do, express it in a way that's healthy and helpful. Just these two things can stop a lot of those passive aggressive behaviors and can stop us from sabotaging our relationships when we really don't mean to. Anger is normal, but we have to acknowledge it and express it so that we can find different ways to deal with it. Hopefully, this has been helpful. Follow us for more tips on how to deal with your anger and manage other emotions.